Hi, good evening. My name is Father Rayappa. I'm in Ekattupadi village near Vellore, South India. Today I'm going to talk about Psalm 104. It's a psalm of creation. Psalm 104 glorifies creation. Psalm 104 is one of the psalms from the book of Psalms of the Hebrew Bible. It is notable among the Psalms for describing Yahweh, Elohim, explicitly as the Creator God. German philosopher Johann Gottfried Herder remarked, "It is worth studying the Hebrew language for 10 years in order to read Psalm 104 in the original language." The subject matter and its presentation is closely related both to the first Genesis creation narrative, where likewise the waters are separated before the creation of sun and moon, and to older accounts of creation from the ancient Near East, both Mesopotamian and Egyptian. One of the longest psalms, it is traditionally divided into 35 verses, begins by describing the glory of God, who covers thyself with light as with the garment. That is verse 2. Verse 5 asserts that God has laid the foundation of the earth. Verses 6 to 13 concern the ordering of the waters. Verses 14 to 18, vegetation and animal life. 19 to 24, sun and moon and the cycle of day and night. Verse 24, O Lord, how manifold are thy works! In wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy riches. Verse 26 mentions the Leviathan, the sea monster. Verses 27 to 30 emphasizes how all creatures still depend on the ongoing attention and provision by the Creator God and perish if he averts his attention. Verse 30, Thou sendest forth thy spirit, they are created, and thou renewest the face of the earth. That is the best verse I love. Lord, you send your spirit, everything shall be created. Lord, you take your spirit away, everything perishes. That is verse 30, Psalm 104. Beautiful. The concluding verses 31 to 35 reiterate the power and glory of Yahweh. And the composer expresses his adoration. And in the final verse, his wish that the sinners and wicked be consumed out of the earth. Actually, Judaism, the observant Jews, recite Psalm 104 in its entirety every day during morning services. This psalm, every day they begin the day praying 104. And on certain occasions also, such as the new moon, though customs vary, it is recited following the Shabbath Minsha between Sukkot and Shabbath Agadol. So every Saturday, Sabbath, they recite this psalm. In Roman Catholicism, the psalm is used during the Easter Vigil on Holy Saturday night, the vigil being the inauguration of the fifth day Easter season, the end of Holy Week, by extension Lent, and the end of the 3-day Easter Triduum of Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Easter. In the liturgy of the word, the first reading is the creation story of the book of Genesis. And Psalm 104, which deals with the same material, is the responsorial psalm. It is used again during Pentecost, at the end of the Easter season, as the responsorial psalm for the vigil and the Sunday Mass. So I would like to read the psalm. It's so beautiful. Pray with me, please. Blessed the Lord, O my soul, O Lord my God. You are very great. You are clothed with splendor and majesty, covering yourself with light as with a cloak, stretching out heaven like a tent curtain. He lays the beams of his upper chambers in the waters, makes the clouds his chariot. He walks upon the wings of the wind. He makes the winds his messengers, flaming fire his ministers. Establish the earth upon its foundations, so that it will not totter forever and ever. You covered it with the deep as with a garment. The waters were standing above the mountains. At your rebuke, they fled. At the sound of your thunder, they hurried away. The mountains rose, the valleys sank down to the place which you established for them. You set a boundary that they may not pass over, so that they will not return to cover the earth. He sends forth springs in the valleys. They flow between the mountains. They give drink to every beast of the field. The wild donkeys quench their thirst. Beside them the birds of the heavens dwell. They lift up their voices among the branches. He waters the mountains from his upper chambers. The earth is satisfied with the fruit of his works. He causes the grass to grow for the cattle and vegetation for the labor of man, so that he may bring forth food from the earth and wine which makes man's heart glad, so that he may make his face glisten with oil, and food which sustains man's heart. The trees of the Lord drink their fill, the cedars of Lebanon which he planted, where the birds build their nests, and the stork whose home is the fir trees. The high mountains are for the wild goats, the cliffs are the refuge for the Sephanim. He made the moon for the seasons. The sun knows the place of its setting. You appoint darkness, and it becomes night, in which all the beasts of the forest prowl about. The young lions roar after their prey and seek their food from God. When the sun rises, they withdraw and lie down in their dens. Man goes forth to his work and to his labor until evening. O Lord, how many are your works? In wisdom you have made them all. The earth is full of your possessions. There is the sea, great and broad, in which are swarms without number, animals both small and great. There the ships move along, and Leviathan, which you have formed to sport it in. They all wait for you to give them their food in due season. You give to them, they gather it up. You open your hand, they are satisfied with good. You hide your face, they are dismayed. You take away their spirit, they expire and return to their dust. You send forth your spirit, they are created, and you renew the face of the earth. Let the glory of the Lord endure forever. Let the Lord be glad in his works. He looks at the earth, and it trembles. He touches the mountains, and they smoke. I will sing to the Lord as long as I live. I will sing praise to my God while I have my being. Let my meditation be pleasing to him. As for me, I shall be glad in the Lord. Let sinners be consumed from the earth. Let the wicked be no more. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Praise the Lord. Thank you. Have a nice day.